And so the journey continues. Well over halfway, having started the road trip in Brisbane. Incidentally, at the end of this video we share our Australia playlist, and the last video in that series will contain all of our costs for this road trip down the east coast, as well as a 2-week stay in Melbourne and a week in a cool Airbnb in Sydney. So if you're interested in doing something similar, be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you're informed as our videos come out, but all of that in a future video.
Today we find ourselves in Anna Bay. Like most of the locations we've visited on this trip, it's a small population of below 5,000 people and it's a suburb of Port Stephens.
A little insider tip for you. If you're interested in how we make these videos, stay right to the end. You're going to see just how it's done. But today we learn more about the ferocious nature of the Australian wildlife.
When you think of Australia, you think of...
spiders, don't you? Spiders. Spiders with long legs, with hairy legs, and all they want to do is kill you.
When you think of Australia, you think of...
snakes, isn't it? Snakes. If it's not spiders, it's snakes. Have you seen that video we made? We're walking down a path, and there's a python right next to me, and all he wanted to do was kill me. And in today's video, we're going to share with you an animal that is doubly as dangerous as those two put together.
Oh, we're going to a koala bear sanctuary.
Yeah, bears, Sarah. Do you not watch YouTube? Bears kill people.
But they're koala bears.
Can I have a word? Come on. Why is it you're always trying to ruin our videos?
I'm not, but you're being disingenuous. It's a koala bear.
I've already designed the thumbnail and I've written the title, and it is this Australia's most dangerous animal?
But I'm not having it.
Sarah, if a koala bear falls out of a tree because he's eating a eucalyptus leaf and he's distracted by something and he falls 40 foot onto your head, he can kill you.
I'm not having it.
Welcome to today's video. We're in Port Stephens in Australia at the Port Stephens Koala Bear Sanctuary. We're going to get a chance to see some cute, cuddly koala bears. Hey, come with us. Port Stephens Koala Sanctuary. This is an idyllic setting. It's in the middle of nowhere. All you can hear are birds chirping.
Yeah, it's beautiful. There's the
around us.
parakeets, and we've even seen a kookaburra.
Yeah.
Which for us is something.
Yes, kookaburra. That's another Australian creature. I don't think it tries to kill you. Now, what I said about falling out of a tree on you, some of those that we saw when we first got in, you can see I wasn't far off from the truth. But actually, getting further in here, this sanctuary is really quite something, isn't it?
It is. There's a hospital here that obviously does operations, and we've just missed one of the koalas having its cast repaired.
Yeah.
So we just missed that, unfortunately. But there's another one in the hospital now, which we saw in a crate. And I spoke to a lady, and she doesn't know what's happened to that one. It's been brought in overnight, so it's gone into the hospital.
That's sad. And the funny thing is, it's not funny, but it's funny to think about, is a hospital doesn't just treat them, it does osteoporosis type work, it does acupuncture, they do the full. So if a koala needs to come in here, it's like getting private medical attention. They look after sick, injured and orphan koalas here. So we've seen probably, what, 15?
I think there's 12 in total here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And most of them look like they've suffered some kind of road traffic accident.
But there's also bushfires.
Bushfires or fallen out of trees.
Yeah.
So we've seen, I think 2 of them have got brain damage.
Yeah.
And can't climb. So you see a place
all
like
their
this.
paws are too badly burnt from the fires.
Yeah.
So it's yeah, very sad, but they're in the best place now, and so most of them that we've seen here are staying here now. They won't be released into the wild, because for their injuries, it's just too severe.
Yeah, and if you look at this footage now, where I'm just looking at this kookaburra, behind that is a load of other pens that the koalas are in. They're injured koalas that they're looking after and
Yeah, sort of more in the hospital.
Yeah,
sort
so
of
the
thing.
objective here is to put them back into the wild. Not easy to do with koalas, because what we've learnt today is that they have their own patch, and if you take them away from their own patch, they will try and find their way back there.
Yeah.
And there's only certain types of trees that some of them will eat the leaves from.
There's 300 species of eucalyptus trees, but I think they only eat 65 varieties. And as you say, certain regions have different eucalyptus trees, so if they're from that region, that is what they eat.
Yeah, and you can feed them like top quality eucalyptus from another region. They go, no, rather die than eat that. So fair enough. How long does it they sleep?
They sleep for between 18 and 20 hours, and they eat for 4 hours a day because they're very slow eaters. They eat one leaf at a time, and the reason they need to sleep that long is because they need to digest that eucalyptus leaf. It's really difficult to digest, so they have to sleep that long, and they'll move for up to an hour a day. So they are certainly sleepers.
Reminds me of Sarah when we got a down day. Difference is she's got Netflix and they haven't. They just have to sit there with their own thoughts. Did you know as well that if two trees are close enough to each other, they can actually jump from one to the other, but they do prefer to just shimmy down and climb up another tree. So look, koalas are us. Anything you want to know about koalas, turns out we're the experts, and we haven't read any of this. Oh, incidentally, around this park there are places you can stay as well, and we asked how much it costs to stay here. It's around 400 to 500 Aussie dollars a night, which is probably around 250 US dollars. There's also glamping, and I'm sure that will be a little bit cheaper, but this looks kind of if you got the money to do it, a really cool place. It's very quiet. You've got the park to yourself. When
I was going to say, you can go any time of the day, can't you?
Yeah.
You can walk up onto the bridge where the ones that are actually kept here. You can see them view any time of the day.
Up there, you take a book. Very nice, very civilised. So this is it. What we want to do though is we want to show you a bit more of this area. What else is in the Port Stephens / Anne Bay area, because that's where we are for this 24 hours. So let's take a look there and let me know in the comments, was I right to say that koalas are likely the most dangerous animals in Australia? Because I think spiders, if they fall on you, they're not going to hurt you by falling on you.
They might do, depending on what spider it is.
Or snakes. That's only if you annoy them. Koalas.
No, if you wake a sleeping koala, you can be in trouble, a bit like me.
But a koala can fall on you out of a tree and kill you purely because he's just lost his footing. It's like coconuts, isn't it?
Well, that's the danger.
Koalas are like coconuts, aren't they?
I think we better get out of here.
I drove around here for a good 10 minutes looking for somewhere to park and found this little tip if you're in the area that if you come to Woolworths,
yeah, we call it Woolies because it was
free parking for 3 hours. Everything out on the street, you've got to download apps
it's
to
all
use and
metered
things.
parking, so that's a good tip if you're here.
Yeah, so we're
You
going to
don't even have to go shopping in Woolies, but we're going to.
We're going to buy some sherbet lemons, getting all the critical stuff you really need in life. But we're going to take a look around Port Nelson, and also, to be honest, I am parched after seeing all those
Koalas.
Yeah.
Scary koalas.
Terrifying koalas. I am absolutely parched. So, well, Sarah, let's have a little look around. What day is it?
It is Tuesday today.
Feels like a Tuesday.
Why does it feel like a Tuesday?
Well, just not a lot of people kicking about. But we're heading down towards what I think is the marina or bay itself.
Some nice little shops here
Yeah.
that I might need to go in.
No, you don't need to go in. Nice thing is the temperature today is absolutely delightful.
I'd pay good money for this. What would you say it is? 20?
Oh, it's about
24?
23, 24
Yeah.
today,
Oh,
which
lovely.
we've been dreaming of, but it
Yeah.
hasn't materialised.
A tiny little draft.
Yeah.
It's great. Right, you're seeing this as we're seeing it, and it looks enticing. I think it's the way
Yeah.
I would look at it. You see a nice little path going down, and red and orange brick. You think, oh right, they've put a bit of effort in here. And just beyond that, water. Do you feel the same as me? Whenever I see stuff like that, and you just see water in the distance, you get a little leap in your heart. You go, oh, this is going to be nice. There'll probably be a place down here where you get a nice cup of coffee and a nice bun. That is the definition.
After that breakfast.
Yeah. That breakfast was amazing. But yeah. Did we tell you what we did for breakfast? I don't think. No, we didn't tell you.
No,
So
yeah.
we're staying in an area called Anna Bay, and by the beach is a cafeteria.
I didn't have high hopes at all,
Yeah,
but it's
I didn't.
really nice.
But it was gorgeous.
Yeah.
I ordered a breakfast, which, tell you what, rather than me tell you about it, I think, should we try and go there tomorrow morning and have it again? I did tell the bloke it's probably the nicest breakfast I'd ever had. So he won't be surprised to see me again. Yeah, and there is the marina. There we go, look at this. Fish feeding, 10:30 every day.
They like regular food, don't they?
So should we ever buy a boat, it'll be like this. We will never buy a boat on the basis of we can't afford it. The only boat we ever considered buying, you might want to check back on our videos from the UK more recently, where we looked at the potential of owning a narrowboat.
This is what I'd have.
So that's for sale. That's a boat brokerage. Do you want it then, Sarah?
Yeah.
It's
okay.
for sale. I reckon what you're looking at there is going to be worth more than 20,000 US dollars. What do you think?
I think slightly more.
This part of Australia's got a very different feel to a place like Byron.
Yeah.
Feels more like,
Well, this is more boating than
yeah,
more of a harbour than.
feels more like the
So-
south coast of the UK really. Just kind of, it's more about the boats and just a couple of places that you can eat and drink. But this has been our time in the Anna Bay, Nelson, what's the other place? Area. Port Stephen area. We recommend coming here,
We're
don't we?
moving so fast, I get so confused with where
That's
we've
right.
been.
So if you've just happened upon us in this video, it's a bit haphazard, I
It
realise
is.
that. So we
We
are,
normally do plan our videos very well, but at this
Yeah.
point it's just a day
we just
of
wanted to
just
go
day
out and
with
just
us.
see where the
Yeah.
day takes us. Who we are, Sarah and Neil. We retired early, sold everything we own a couple of years ago to travel the world for 10 years. We're 2 years in now. And we want to put everything on video just so you can look at it and say, is this something I could do?
Yeah.
Is this something I'd enjoy? So check back through our catalogue and you'll see some interesting stuff, no doubt. Also, you might want to consider being a Patreon, wouldn't they?
Absolutely, our patrons, well, To Go Rome wouldn't exist if it wasn't for our patrons. We have a monthly live stream.
And we also use different mediums to keep up to date. So we're in regular contact with all of our Patreons, very cool people. And if you want to consider doing anything like that, then look in the description below and you'll get all the details. But you've been watching To Go Rome. We will see you next time. Bye.
There's only a little one, that was.
That's cool. They look after... Got louder then, didn't they?
It will do because of the sound bank.
What sound bank?
There's a sound thing that then it gets a bit louder.
A sound bank?
Well, you know, I don't know.
What do you mean it gets
Isn't
a
there a
bit louder?
sound barrier? It gets.
Yeah, what, when it breaks the sound barrier? That's like Concorde breaks the sound.
That's only a little one.
Right, let's get to it. Ready? They look after sick, injured and orphan koalas here. So we've seen